Morning, welcome to episode 37, Sunday the 14th September, 9:25 am. Left you in episode 36 after I'd just taken out the passenger side, UK passenger side, or left hand sill, inner and outer. Since then I'll show you what I've been doing. I've done a little bit in the week, but not an awful lot, because I've got other stuff to do. I need to put my light on properly. If I sit down, let's put the light on. Yeah, that's the light. There we go. Right, so if I angle it the other way so it's not quite as bright. Right, so I've cut out the rust. I've cut out a piece. I mean, they've gone now, but this is the section for this bit. So this is where the passenger seat would be. That's the forward mount, if I get it. So that would be there, like that. So we're just about where the feet would go, the back of the feet. And they're notorious for going here. So I had to just fix this little edge here, so cut. If I get a little pointer there, so cut there. Along there, I'll put some photos in. Down there, one there, there. So that's a new piece in there with some new holes drilled. Just a tiny little square in there. And obviously this big section here, I cut out first of all to there, and then cut out that bit. That bit was bad. I've chucked them in the scrap bin now. But then I've made that piece with a return lip that I might well not use. I might cut that off. I'm going to weld this in a minute. So that one sort of goes in there, like so. And then I've got a return lip at the moment. I've just got some old scrap steel in there, just protecting the gearbox and a bit of wiring. That was mainly when I cut out. And then I've made this piece to go sort of in there like that, so that'll go in two pieces. Let me find the bits that I cut out and I'll show you. That's one piece. That's the edge of the footwell that goes onto where the sill is. So those are the spot welds where the outer sill would be. We've then got the floor piece, and that's where the underfloor support is welded. So transferred that piece back across. I mean, look at it. And then this is the tunnel section that I've cut out. Again, that would have just gone through. You know, it's only because it's got the under seal on the back that it hasn't showing light through. But you can see how pitted that is. So I've now got to figure out which piece I put in first. Probably the floor one. This one. And then that one. Not sure. Anyway, let's get on with it. So yeah, I should say as well, they've had 2 coats of epoxy paint on the back now. Okay, it's going to burn off, isn't it? But particularly this bit where I can't get to under there, once it's in, that's why I've painted it. So yeah, I just might have to cut some of this lip off here, you know, from there. It's probably going to be better without it, and just do a seam. I think I might do that, not sure. But I'll come back when I've done it. So that's this first section mostly welded in. I've got to fill that hole in, come up there, around there. I've also got to fill these holes in as well, but I'll do that probably when I put the sill in. I've next got to figure out what I do with that lip. I'm going to let it cool down, because obviously it's quite warm. I've been doing it on a relatively high setting. So on my welder, it's Clark MIG. It's an old one, Clark Weld MIG 160 TM Turbo, and I've got it on a 4-wire feed, 2 minimum. I've been welding with these for a long time, so I alternate between that, depends how thin it is and everything, between that and 1 and max. probably, for this type of thing. Obviously when I'm doing the sill, I can have it on this or even 2 max, because obviously it'll be new and new. This is new and old, so it's 1.2 and then probably about 1, but old 1. So obviously if you're doing stack tacks, which is what I'm doing mainly, so you can see here I'm doing stack tacks, cool it down with the airline, stack tacks. That's why it looks tatty, but it's plenty penetrated enough. I mean, if we get the light and come underneath, I've not looked underneath yet. So what's it look like? Can you see? Hang on. There we go. Where are we? I can't see. So there's my hole, so it must be here. I need to figure out what I'm going to do with that lip next and get this other piece ready to put in. But like I say, I'm going to let it cool down. Time to do something else for a bit. Coffee. Just been scraping off the stuff underneath, so I decided I'm going to cut that lip off. So I don't want a lip on the inside. I don't want a lip on the outside, the inside of the transmission tunnel. I could do it this way, but then I don't know, because then I've got to go and weld underneath. Whereas if I cut that, I can just weld from here and it'll go through okay. So I'm going to cut that lip off. I'm going to cut down there, along there, and then there is a bit of a lip there, a bit of a raise, but I'll be able to bash that down then once this extra strength has gone. So I'm going to cut that off. Right, let's get this in now. Start to do a few tacks and then bash it into place. A bit like I did with this one. Right, I've just been underneath. I'm just going to take you underneath. Let's go underneath. Let's have a look. Gearbox cross member, handbrake drum, LT230 transfer box. I get the light like that. Now can you see there? Gearbox mount. This is the joint to the R380 gearbox. There's my repair panels that I've put in. You can see, even though I've painted them on the inside, it's burnt all the paint off. I have got a lip there. So that's why I want to take the gearbox out, to be able to finish that off and paint it. It's the same on the other side, but not as bad because the repair wasn't as big. Although there's a weld the whole length of it. But even if I take the LT230 out, I'm still not going to be able to get at that forward bit because the main gearbox is in the way. So when I do the bulkhead and the front wings, the engine's coming out, that's the time to set the gearbox out and the LT230 out, exhaust off, or forward exhaust off. Then I'll be able to get all that and paint it. So yeah, even this bit under here, where I've painted in there, it's all come off there as well. So I mean, we've got plenty of wheel penetration, we're okay there, but you can see there's that lip that I want to smooth off as well. So yeah, it just needs a bit of preparation and some paint on it. So yeah, gearbox has got to come out, transfer box has got to come out to be able to finish all that properly. But that's a job for another day. But I will get a coat of paint on it, like some weld-through spray primer on it or something. I'll have to try and get some paper over the gearbox or something to protect it, and over the chassis rail, mask off, a bit of paint, just to protect it, stop it flash rusting. But yeah, see you later. Evening, it's 8 PM on Sunday. I was looking at the footage earlier and I realised that I showed you underneath, but I didn't show you inside. So there you go. So that's the top. I've not ground anything back yet. I've not put any paint on. I'm going to stick a couple of little bits of masking tape over that bit. Not that bit, just because I want to put some rust treat on that bit. And I'm just going to give it a coat of primer. And then I'm going to go underneath. I've got some on my head. I'm going to go underneath and I'm going to just put some paper over the gearbox and over the chassis, and I'm going to spray some underneath as well. Might show you that when I've done it. So there we go, put some on underneath, just put some paper in the way, and I need to buy some more weld through primer. I want my last tin. I just started to use a old can of U-Pull stuff up, weld through primer, and it was going all funny, but I've got U-Pull on top. You see, it was all dripping, but it'll do for now because I'm going to grind it all back anyway. And yeah, right, let's go in. Yeah, I can grind those back a bit on top. I'm not going to worry too much because it's going to be all hidden. Grind them back a bit more paint on there, and then what I need to do is just chop off, like say about there. I know the light's not great at the minute. Like I did when I did the other side, because then I can try the silling. I want to try the silling before I do all the rust treat on the outriggers and before I paint the insides of it. So see when I've done that, or as I'm doing that. Tuesday the 16th September 2025. Finished work a little bit early today. It's now 20 to 5 p.m. Just got the inner sill tried in. So this inner sill is different make than the other one, the other side. This one is from YRM. Put that on, lines up perfectly, spot on. That's just the inner. So no fancy bits down the inside on this one. This is correct for this car, whereas the other side wasn't correct for this car. It's got the wavy bits for the earlier cars. The later cars, because of the air suspension stuff, they deleted those. They don't need them. Don't do anything anyway. I mean, they're just a bit of strengthening. But yeah, I've just got old rubbers. I know you can't see very well with the torch. Old rubbers, new bolts through both mountings. I've already just wire brushed the outriggers, both that one and this one that you can't see there. I've chopped off the bottom of that wheel closing section as well again, and just the bottom of the B-pillar. So that's the piece I've just chopped off the bottom of the B-pillar. Mostly okay, but I'm going to use most of that anyway. And you can see it's rusty on the inside, but it's not too bad. And then I've chopped off that bit which I'll use to help replicate that new piece, the closing section, when I do that. So now we'll get the outer piece down and we'll try that on, clamp the two together, mark them so I know exactly where they go, paint the insides, weld them together. So there we go, inner and outer tried in. A couple of little bits I need to trim. More or less got that bolt hole lined up. Sorry for the flashing, flickering. I want to get it to move that way just a tiny bit, but it's nearly right. I need to trim off just a tiny bit off that corner underneath here because it's butting up against the rear of the wheel arch. So I just need it back a millimetre more because the old holes don't line up for the seat base. Almost, but it's almost there. And yeah, we've got holes to weld up, same as before. But that's almost right this time. And this bit's right, unlike the other side that was miles off. So tomorrow night or later I'll take it out. And then I can start painting both bits and get some rust treat on those outriggers. So that's all I wanted to get done for tonight. So it's now probably about 5 p.m, 5 past 5. So yeah, I've just got some clamps underneath for now, but this is only a rough trying at the moment, just to see where I need to adjust it. Like a little bit there I've marked. I marked a little bit here, but you can't see it if I do it this way. But now, to be fair, now I've lined it up, I don't need to do that. So I did put a little bit there, but that's going to be okay. So now that's in the right place. I've had to bash it this way a bit more. So we'll just trim a tiny bit off the back of there. Yeah, it's alright that. And then this bit lines up better than the other side as well, probably. So this inner sill, this YRM inner sill, miles better than that other one that I got. I think it was a GDI product, I can't remember. I'll put it down here below. I'll look up where I bought it from and I'll put it down here. This is better. Right, see you later in the week. For evening, it's now Sunday the 21st of September 2025. It's 20 past 7 p.m. Yesterday and Friday was an absolute right off. It was a complete washout, far too humid and too cold. With this paint, spoiler, it's got to be 3 degrees above the dew point. It was only 1.5 degrees above the dew point, so it was only this morning that it dried up. So I got a coat, and it was too cold and too humid this morning, so I got a coat on at about 3 p.m. So now it's had over 4 hours, supposedly 4 hours drying time at 23 degrees. It's had over 4 hours, so by the time I've just mixed some, by the time that's had 10 minutes, it'll be all right. And then I'm off on holiday tomorrow, so nothing will happen for a couple of weeks. So where's my torch? So I've just used up a bit on there just to cover it up. I've still not ground it back. I've done the outrigger 1 coat, that outrigger 1 coat. I've done a bit under there, if you can see under there. It still needs more under there. But yeah, it's just had 1 coat on the inside of the sill and the top of the sill and the inside of the inner sill. Not the outside, because I'll be able to paint that on this side. So yeah, so I'll probably just edit this together so that you can see where I've got up to and what I've been doing, because it'll probably be another let's see, it's gonna be mid-October probably before there's another one out now. So thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed what you've seen so far. See you later.